Lap event for the fastest scoring division in NASCAR, Stafford's SK Modified. Late models, pro stocks, and dare stocks add to this exciting night of NASCAR racing presented by Coors Light. Gates open at 5:30 p.m. The excitement starts at 8 p.m. when the SK Modified 150 takes the green flag. It's Stafford Motor Speedway for family fun at family prices. Junior 6 and 14, just $2. Children 5 and under free, and parking is always free. It's Friday night, July 14th, the SK Modified 150 presented by Coors Light. It's Stafford Motor Speedway. It's NASCAR, Route 140, Stafford Springs, Connecticut.
We mentioned Karen Scavado a moment ago. She will serve as tonight's Grand Marshal, and Kim Hart is standing by trackside with her now to learn more about Karen Scavado and archery.
Yes, that's us, me and Karen Scavado, and she's the one holding this weapon, you might say. Now, Karen is our Grand Marshal tonight for the Carquest 150, which is a very special position to be in, but you're on your way to the Summer Olympics in Sydney, Australia. How does it feel to be representing your country?
I'm really excited. It's my first time being on an Olympic team, and I can't wait. It's going to be an experience of a lifetime.
Now, tell me a little bit about what you do here. You're an archer, and tell me about this piece of equipment you've got in your hand.
This is a recurve bow. This is the equipment used in the Olympic Games. This is your basic target bow.
And you've got your arrows here. How much do each one of these arrows weigh?
They weigh about 250 grains.
Now, you were telling me earlier how fast these things go. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on those arrows when you let go.
Yep, they'll be 200 feet per second.
I wish we could equate that to miles an hour, but I'm sure that's pretty fast. Now, your dad actually started doing this as a hobby, and you bugged him that you wanted to do this and try it yourself. What happened?
When I was 8, he finally took me down to the archery range in Manchester, and he got me a lesson and a bow, some arrows, and I've been shooting since.
Now, if somebody wants to do this, I mean, how do you go about competing? Where do you compete, and how have you worked your way up to be 8th in the world?
Well, you want to find a local archery range, first of all, get a coach, practice a lot, and they'll just introduce you to tournaments, and you can travel to nationals and regionals, and just do that.
Now, are there a lot of ladies that do this, or is it mostly guys? I mean, tell me what the competition is.
There's actually a lot of ladies who do shoot. There's a women's division and a men's division in the Olympics.
Now, we're talking about how drivers are athletes. Certainly, you must go through some pretty rigorous training to pull that thing. What kind of pressure does it take?
My bow is 40 pounds. I shoot about 200 arrows every day.
So do you work out? I mean, what do you do to work out and stay in shape?
Well, just practicing every day, and I also go to the gym, lift weights, do a little cardio.
Now, you get to do a fair bit of traveling. Tell us about some of the countries you've visited, and which ones were your favorites?
I've been to Australia, Turkey, Germany, Sweden, and Italy. I think Australia and Italy are my favorites.
Now, of the 6 people that are representing the U.S. in the Olympics, you're the youngest. Tell us how you were chosen.
We went through a trials process where you had to come in the top 32 at Nationals last summer. The top 32 went to semifinals in New Jersey. They cut to 8 there. The top 8 went to finals in California, and they cut to 3, and that was the team.
Now, is there a lot of pressure? Were you feeling stressed? I mean, you must be pretty relieved that you're on your way.
I was really nervous for the trials, but I was confident. You know, I was ranked, one of the top in the country, and I was confident I would make the team.
Now, as we look at the field of cars here for the Busch North Series event that we have here tonight, you as the Grand Marshal, but now let's talk about how these guys are athletes, what it takes to drive a race car, and maybe some comparisons on what it takes to be an archer. Are there similarities?
Probably the focus, I would guess. That would be a major one. You just want to be focused on your game. You don't want to think of failure or anything negative thoughts.
Now, you talked about confidence. I mean, obviously, all these drivers that are here tonight wouldn't be here if they didn't think they could win. Is it the same applies to archery?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Everybody going to the Olympic Games expecting to win.
Now, if one of the kids up in the grandstands wants to try this archery, is there a place where kids can get involved?
Yeah, there's a club, Hall's Arrow in Manchester. That's where I shoot. It's a great archery club, great JOAD program. It's a great place to start.
Now, each one of these teams has a crew chief in a team, and we look at your piece of equipment here. Do you have a crew chief that tunes that thing up, or do you know how to take care of all this?
Well, once you get it all tuned, it's just all screws together. But my father tunes it. He spends hours and hours making sure everything's perfect, trying to get the perfect setup so I shoot the highest scores.
Now, when we talk to drivers here that are young drivers, a lot of the youth look to them to set an example. What kind of response do you get from the people from your hometown, people at tracks like Stafford Motor Speedway, on you being so young and representing your country?
Yeah, they think it's great. They're 100% supportive of me. And I think I'm a role model. I go to elementary schools and do little demonstrations, and the kids look up to me, and I think it's great for them to have a role model like this.
Now, is this the first time you've been at Stafford Motor Speedway?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Now, this is a pretty exciting race here tonight. This is a big night. You haven't seen the big events yet, but certainly a lot of exciting racing. What do you think so far?
It's exciting. I think I'll come back.
She thinks she's going to come back. Well, you're on your way to the Olympics, hopefully to get a medal, and I would like to give you a medal from the Arute family, from Jack Arute Sr., which it's not quite an Olympic medal, but at Stafford Motor Speedway, this is pretty special stuff, and we wish you the best as you go on. Now, are you ready to do this tonight, to be the Grand Marshal? Have you been practicing?
Practicing all day. I think I'm ready.
Okay, are we ready to get this thing going? Let's go back up to the tower first before we start tonight's Carquest 150.
All right, thanks a lot, Kim. Just a few moments away from the Command and Fire engines. 30 cars set to take the green flag here in the Carquest 150.
Well, you can see the crew members bringing out the war wagons. They're setting up the stage for the drama that is about to unfold. $76,000 plus in posted awards here for this prestigious Carquest 150. Points going into the event. Tracy Gordon leads them with 1,004 points. In 6 starts, he has 3 wins, 5 top 5s, and 5 top 10s. Brad Layton sets in second with 952 over Mike Olson in third with 927. Dale Shaw is fourth with 905, and Dave Dion sits in the 5th spot with 899. Then it's Brian Wall in 6th with 811 points over Dennis Demers with 754. 8th is Bobby Dragon with 736. 9th is Mike Johnson with 713. And rounding out the top 10, it is Mike Rowe and Matt Kovaluk with 691 points to his credit. Let's go back down to Kim Hart. Kim?
Of course, still here with Karen Scavado. Now, looking at this equipment, you've got us pretty curious. Can you kind of show us how hard it is to pull that thing? I mean, I shook your hand, and this lady's pretty darn strong. Look at that. I don't know if, and very accurate and precision-wise. Well, we just once again want to congratulate you on your accomplishments and wish you the best in the Olympics. We're going to be cheering for you.
Thank you so much.
And now to my colleague, Tony Sutton, as we get ready to start the event.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Karen. Boy, I tell you what, we are all cheering for you. Just stand by a minute, and you're going to lose a whole bunch of horsepower.
I just also want to mention that Carquest Division President John Porcello is up in the stands, and he's going to be the official starter for this race, so keep your eye on him, too.
You're listening to Stafford Motor Speedway Live. Executive producer Corey Pisacco. Technical engineer Rick Svelmy. Engineered by Patty Emerson and George Robichaud. Diamond Vision videography by Olson Video Productions. Stafford Motor Speedway Live is Ben Dye, Gary Danko, Bruce Fontaine, Kim Hart, Raleigh Jacobs, Kyle Rickey, and Tony Sutton. Broadcast and promotional assistants are Matt Kentfield, Derek Perniciglio, and Scott Running. And I'm Dean Mercier. Now, let's return to today's broadcast.
Just got word from Race Control next door that we are just a few seconds away from getting the command of the Carquest 150 to get this one underway here this evening. Don't forget that the Carquest 150 will mark the first of 2 appearances for the NASCAR Busch North Series here this season at Stafford Motor Speedway. NASCAR Busch North Series returns Friday night, July 28th. Pick up your tickets this evening. Of course, the ticket office open all night long. We are set, again, 30 cars staged here on the front straightaway. Tommy Bowles, Matt Kovaluk to lead the field around here in just a matter of moments, waiting on Race Control. 30 cars made the race. Several missed the race. 46 here to qualify. So this one, Ben Dodge, a tough one to make here this evening.
It sure is, and the driver's getting strapped in as we speak. The crew members are setting up their war wagons down on pit road. We are just moments away from the start of this prestigious event. The story here is a story of a lot of the veteran drivers. Some of the favorites here at the Stafford Motor Speedway will be making up the front row. They are drivers that made the transition and the graduation through other divisions of impressive racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this? Karen Scavado, let's turn loose the Busch North guys. Let's hear the words. Everyone's waiting to hear.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
All right, thank you very much, Karen. The words everybody here this evening has been waiting for as the field of 30 starters come to life here on the front straightaway. Here's your starting lineup.
In the 30th starting position, mile before. Down in turn 3, we're set to go racing.
Tommy Bowles to the inside. Pace car pulls on to pit road. 30 cars, 150 laps. The Carquest 150. Race number 7 of the 2000 season for the NASCAR Busch North Series. Off of turn number 4, looking for the green flag. It flies from the starter stand, and we are underway down in turn 1.
Down into turn number 1, Tommy Bowles on the inside. Kovaluk on the high side. Layton's already trying to make a move. No magic there as they head down to 3.
Bowles will show the way down in turn number 1, but here comes Kovaluk right on the rear bumper as they work off turn 4.
Best battles for that third position. Brad Layton to the inside, to the outside. Jamie Obi, the 71 for Dragon, hangs up in the top 5. Back down into turns number 1 and 2. Now Obi goes way high off of turn number 2, losing 2 spots down the backstretch.
Obi now will take that spot away, and meanwhile, here comes Obi on the outside. Also trying to take the spot away, can't get the job out there. He'll stick it back in line off turn 4.
The guy to watch suddenly becomes car number 1. Jerry Marquis out of Broadbrook, Connecticut, knows this racetrack like the back of his hand. He'll put the red and white number 1 into position number 5 as they head for 3.
Marquis now starting to close on the 71 of Dragon as their nose to tail. Bowles is your leader off turn 4.
Nose to tail throughout the top 10 as they work their way to complete lap number 3 of one car. Making his move up through the field. The 29 for Dave Dion just bypassed one car off of turn number 4 a moment ago. That was car number 56. Now he's going to pick up another spot, trying to anyway, down in 3.
Tommy Bowles goes up the hill just a bit off turn number 4. Kovaluk reels him back in with that number 40. Layton sets in the 3rd spot. 4 laps are into the record books. Dragon is up to 4. Marquis is in 5 as they head to 3.
Right now, Brian Layton with car number 55 is also racing. So is it Beaver Dragon. That's the battle for 3rd as they work it off turn 4.
Dragon right now runs in that 4th spot, challenged heavily by Jerry Marquis. Jamie Obi in that mix as well. And how about the 96 having a good run here early for Mike Johnson? He falls into that 7th spot. Right now, single file.
Now back straightaway, Tommy Bowles shows the way. Matt Kovaluk is 2nd. Then it is Brad Layton. Then it is Dragon. Nose to tail. Top 5 cars off. 4.
As they come back to the line, this time the top 10 cars are nose to tail. Single file, they'll head into formation down in turn 1. Kendall car, Tommy Bowles goes up the hill. Here comes the Indian Warrior, Kovaluk. He'll try to make the move. Won't happen here.
Kovaluk looking for racing room to the inside, to the outside. Now he'll try it to the inside off turn 4.
Layton with that Sheridan-sponsored race car looking for reservations for position number 1. Can't find it there, but he hunts down the Indian, who's got reservations on position 2. Down the back straightaway, that's where the action is.
Brad Layton now with car number 55, starting to close in on Kovaluk. Matter of fact, he's all over the rear bumper cover, as now he'll try to work to the inside. Can't get it done off of 4.
Right now, single file, I think one of the better battles on the speedways for the 9th spot. Dale Shaw in car number 60 and the 47 for Kelly Moore have been going at it. And here comes the 14 for Tracy Gordon. Those 3 cars race down the back straightaway for positions just inside the top 10.
Tracy Gordon now with car number 14. He's on a march, and he's on a march in a hurry now. Almost up into the top 10 as he works off turn 4.
Dion is just out of the top 10 with car number 29. Behind him is Brad Boisenoff with the number 36 machine. As they come back to the stripe this time, there'll be 10 laps in the record books. Tommy Bowles, who started in position number 1 with a Monte Carlo, will set the pace. Kovaluk currently sets in 2nd. 3rd spot is Brad Layton. 4th spot, the red 71. And that, of course, is Bobby Dragon. And rounding out the top 5, it is Jerry Marquis with car number 1.
Single file off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Now Brad Layton gets into the mix of the race lead. Took a look to the inside for Copeland for that second position, but will fall back into line. Dragon remains in 4th. Jerry Marquis to round out the front 5 to complete 11 laps of 150 here in the Carquest 150.
There's another battle being told just out of the top 10 in the competition here. Teddy Christopher, car number 13, is already starting to move in on Cliff Demers. The Demers machine is the car that won this event 1 year ago. Here comes Christopher to the outside in 3.
Christopher now trying to work to the outside with the NASCAR Kitchens Pontiac. They're side by side, battling for that spot off turn 4.
Eddie Christopher to the outside, Demers to the inside. Like Ben mentioned, the battle just outside of the top 10, about that 12th position. Now off of turn number 2, they remain side by side.
Battle is on there. It is Christopher who completes the move and picks up the spot. Christopher driving a car owned by the LaJoy family as they come off turn number 4. He'll set his sights now on car number 95.
They make their way single file. That second pack of traffic, Teddy Christopher on the move. Now working to the inside of the 56, trying to get to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. down in turn number 3, and does so off of turn number 4. Give another spot to Teddy Christopher.
Well, that battle is going on there a little further back. We've got Brian Wall making some moves with car number 77. He'll tuck it down low, and right there with him comes the Olsen Little Trees, number 61. Back to the front of the class, it is still the Bowles machine in command. This time, lap number 15 goes into the record books.
Bowles pulls away by about 2 car lengths now over Kopeluk down into turns 1 and 2. Kopeluk and pressured heavily by Brad Layton for that second spot.
Brad Layton now has been trying to work all over the rear bumper of Matt Kopeluk. Can't still find a room here in turn 3.
Another battle further back around the 17th and 18th spot is Olsen, who just went around Brian Wall with the number 77 car. Olsen will set his sights on car number 98, his next target in the field. Back to the front of the class, it is still Bowles in command. Kopeluk still running in 2nd. Layton sets his 3rd. Dragon is 4th. And Marquis will round out the top 5.
One car already off the pace. Car number 5 on pit road for Barney McRae from Colchester, Connecticut. So problems on car number 5 as he pits just left of the start-finish line. Meanwhile, 3-car battle shaping up for the race lead. But Bowles continues to hold off Kopeluk. Layton in the run in 3rd. Dragon remains in 4th. Marquis in 5th. Ovi in 6th. Single file for now, but here comes Layton to the inside of Kopeluk down the front straightaway.
There's the challenge. Look a little further back in the field. Christopher has just moved around Brad Boisenoff. Christopher will pick up a position here. He is now running in the 11th spot currently as we speak. Car number 13 is moving in.
Right now, there's a large gap between himself and the first group of cars, which are the top 10, top 11 cars, rather, back down into turns number 1 and 2. Tommy Bowles, the race leader, Kopeluk to run in 2nd. Here comes Layton to the inside.
Layton now steps out of line, trying to look for racing room. Still can't find a room he needs. He'll squeeze it back in line as your leaders work off turn 4.
Back to the stride they come. Bowles expanding his lead by about 2 car lengths now. Kopeluk is hunted down by the Brad Layton machine that currently sets in the 3rd spot. Here comes Marquis. He'll try to make a move. The AAA Aircrafts car will try to challenge the 71 of Dragon. Can't do it this time in turn 3.
Make mention another car in pit road, car number 24. Took to the pit lane just a moment ago. Hood goes up on that machine for Mike Rowe. Let's check in downstairs.
Well, Mike, the hood is up. They've got an oil leak in the engine. They're trying to identify where it is, but they've shut the car off so as not to put any more oil down, and they're going to go behind the wall with the number 24 car and try and repair the oil leak.
Barney McRae also down at pit road with car number 5. But we're back to racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. 22 laps are into the record books. Tommy Bowles has been the leader there. Kopeluk currently sets in 2nd. Layton in the 3rd spot. And look at the battle for 4th. Down at 3, Marquis makes a bid.
Marquis now look to the inside, thought better of it now, squeezes it back in line as they work off turn 4.
Marquis will right now remain in that 5th spot. Dragon continuing to hold the 4th position. Don't count out the 67 for Jamie Ovi. He runs 6th. But it is a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field. Tommy Bowles, the race leader, with car number 40 for Kopeluk to run in 2nd. The 55 for Brad Layton in 3rd. Then a large gap back to 4th with Bobby Dragon. Really looks like holding up that second half of the pack.
Well, Dragon has got his hands full, Kyle, down in turn number 1. You can see it. there is about, well, maybe 20 cars that separate the third and the fourth place car. Behind them, they are all grouped in, and the tail that wags the dog, the last car in the pack, well, he was, is Ted Christopher. Christopher goes around Dave Dion. He's not happy with that. He sets his sight on Tracy Gordon. Three-time winner just in front of Christopher. Place your bets now. Christopher's going to the front.
And right now, Bobby Dragon being shuffled to the back of that pack. He got caught on the outside by Marquis. Marquis passed him a moment.
Trouble now. Leader goes
turn
around.
4. Tommy Bowles goes around here in turn 4.
Tommy Bowles led 26 circuits here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The leader of the event goes around in turn number 4.
Restart Brad Layton to the inside, Marquis to the outside, Jamie Obie in there in third, and car number 96 to run in that fourth position. Back down into turns number 1 and 2. They run side by side for that second spot down the backstretch.
Second spot now, it's heating up down here in turn number 3. Jerry Marquis up to the outside, car 67 down to the inside. They're side by side off turn 4.
Jerry makes the mistake of going high off turn 4. Jamie Obie sneaks in and takes over the runner-up spot. Surprise in this event has to be Mike Johnson out of Salisbury, Mass. He'll make a bid under Marquis down in turn 3.
Johnson now trying to look to the inside of Jerry Marquis' car number 1. They're side by side. They touch a little bit off turn 4.
Best battle on the speedway for that third spot. Give it to Johnson. Takes the spot away from Marquis. And here comes car number 47. Kelly Moore started deep in the field. He has made his presence known up into the top 5, closing in on Marquis down the back straightaway.
Kelly Moore starting in the 6th spot. He has found a home in position number 5. Look out, here comes Dale Shaw. Behind him is Tracy Gordon, and right there with him is Marquis, Dion, and Dragon. Pack of 5 swarming like bees down in turn 2.
Top 5 cars now coming down here in turn number 3. It is Bradley and Jamie Obie. Then it is car number 96, and then it's the Jerry Marquis machine. Your leader now works it off turn 4.
Single file back down to the stripe with Bradley and the race leader. Keep an eye out on Ted Christopher. Takes a look to the inside of car number 71. Gets the spot away from Dragon and now has his eye set on the Tracy Gordon machine down the back straightaway.
The Let's Care Kitchens of Teddy Christopher now is all over the rear bumper of the Tic Tac. Car number 14 of Gordon off turn 4.
While all that was happening, Jerry Marquis moved from the 4th spot back to the 5th spot. Give the position there to Kelly Moore. Further back in the competition, it is Tracy Gordon who now pulls away from Ted Christopher by about a car length and a half. Mike Olson, remember him? He started way back in the parking lot. Just kidding. He started 24th. He is into the top 10. The Little Trees machine is making magic here.
Trying to gain ground on car number 29 for Dave Dion down in the turns number 1 and 2. That all for the 9th position out on the speedway. Mike Olson to round out the top 10. Then it's Dragon, Brian Wall, car number 36 for Poison Oak. All single file for now at the about mid-pack. Throughout the field off of turn number 4, the leaders are back in 1.
Well, 39 laps will show on the scoreboard here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The Sheridan sponsor, Racing Against Cancer. Number 55 for Brad Layton is your leader. Jamie Obie currently sets in second. The 96 machine of Mike Johnson is your 3rd place car. Kelly Moore is up to 4th after starting 6th. Jerry Marquis sets in 5th. Dale Shaw is 6th. Then it goes to Tracy Gordon, followed by Teddy Christopher down in turn 2.
Down here coming in turn number 3, your leader is Bradley. In second is Obie. Then in third it is car number 96 of Johnson. Nose and tail, top 15 cars off at 4.
Right now, Layton begins to pull away by about 4 car lengths back down into turns number 1 and 2 over car number 67 for Jamie Obie. Then it's Johnson in that 3rd spot, having a great run here. 41 laps into this one. Kelly Moore runs in 4th. Jerry Marquis 5th. Dale Shaw 6th. Tracy Gordon in 7th. Teddy Christopher 8th. Dave Dion 9th. Mike Olson around out the top 10. Challenge for 3rd down the front stretch.
R.C. Moore, sponsor number 47 for Kelly Moore, moves in. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Remember, this was the fastest car in time. Kelly Moore turned a time of 19.853 then. He's dipping into those times now as he works his way off turn number 4, starting 6th up to 3rd, 43 laps in. Leader still remains Brad Layton as they come off turn 2.
Out here down the back straightaway, it is Brad Layton showing the way, but starting to close in. It is car number 67 of Ohhhh, but Kelly Moore, car 47, fastest car in the Speedway. He sits third.
He has closed in on the second place runner for Jamie Ohhhh. Mike Johnson sits by himself in the fourth position. To round out the front five, leading the second group of cars, Jerry Marquis in car number 1. And it is Dale Shaw, Tracy Gordon, Ted Christopher right now content to stay in that 9th position.
Those cars run single file in formation as they come off the turn. Layton is not folding to the pressure by any standards. A little bit further back in the field, Brad Boisenall, car number 36. Keep your eyes on him. He's an independent runner showing some talent. Just in front of him, it is Brian Wall as they come off turn 2.
Keep your eyes at the rear of the field. Car number 40 for Matt Kovaluk, 1 lap down. Car number 76 for Tom Bowles. He's on the lead lap, but had to go to the tail end of the field after being helped around off of turn number 4 by car number 40 for Kovaluk.
Let's just call it this. There's no love between the two, and you can see that as they run hard down into turn number 1. Off the 4th turn, Kelly Moore now sets his sights on Jamie Ohhhh. Ohhhh is a former champion of this series. So is it Kelly Moore. Both of those cars run strong, and Brad Layton, your leader, is one of the same. All former champions. The guy that's surprising everybody in the early laps of this event is the man who currently sits in the 4th spot with car number 96 from Salisbury, Mass. Mike Johnson. What a great run by him, Kyle. Down in turn number 1, he reels in on the back bumper of Moore.
Had a great qualifying run earlier this evening. Right now runs 4th down the back straightaway.
Kelly Moore now currently running in 3rd with car number 47. Is right on the rear bumper of the Ohhhh machine. They're nose to tail off turn 4.
Back to the strides they come. Layton still your leader. Look a little further back. Just out of the top 10. Brian Wall puts the Ford Taurus to the bottom of Dragon. Slingshots by him there. Great move. He'll be out in the 11th spot as we speak. Dragon sets at 12. Back up front. Leader still remains Layton.
Layton again pulls away by about 5 car lengths off the corner. Kelly Moore took a look to the inside for second on the 67 machine of Jamie Ohhhh. Had to tuck back in the line, but once again takes a look to the inside off turn 2.
Kelly Moore, he's taking a peek. Still can't get the job done there as they work down here in turn number 3.
Off the 3rd turn into turn number 4. Layton still your leader in command as they come back to the line. Lap number 51 goes up on the scoreboard. Running in 2nd, it is Jamie Ohhhh. In 3rd spot, Kelly Moore. 4th spot is the number 96 car of Johnson. Rounding out the top 5, it is still Jerry Marquis. Dale Shaw sets in 6th. 7th is Tracy Gordon. 8th is Ted Christopher. 9th is Dion. And 10th is Mike Olson. Remember the story of Olson. He started 24th up to the top 10 here.
Right now, they're all single file. One driver making headway toward the rear of the pack. Car number 54 for Paul Wolf from Standish, Maine. That car now just inside of the top 15, getting by car number 25 a lap ago for John Swanson III. He leads that 3rd group of traffic down in turn number 3 as the leaders hit turn 1. Brad Layton continues to hold the race lead, but heavy pressure for that 2nd spot now between Ohhhh and Moore.
That battle is continuing once again down here in turn number 3. Kelly Moore with car number 47 now. Dips down to the inside, trying to take that spot away. Now he'll work it off turn number 4 sideways.
Well, Kelly Moore tried it down to the bottom. Couldn't do it this time. Johnson's got the best seat in the house to watch, but he is not a watcher. He is a contender. He'll apply the pressure here. Back in single file order, they head down to turn 3.
Kelly Moore now still trying on the rear bumper of the 67 of Ohhhh as they work it off turn number 4.
55 laps complete this time by. Brad Layton remains the race leader. Let's go to pit road.
Tim Hart here on pit road just to give you an update on a couple drivers having problems. The number 5 of Barney McRae handling suspension problems. They think it's a center link. They're out for the night. Dale Quarterly in the number 32 is running on 7 cylinders. The team made some chassis adjustments and sent him back out, and they're just hoping for the best back up to the tower.
Well, Quarterly's bad luck seems to continue. He had a problem with the shifter in the car in the last event that he chose to use it. Look at the action off turn number 2. Kelly Moore putting the pressure on Jamie Ohhhh down in 3.
Kelly Moore now has a fender right up to the inside of the Ohhhh machine.
Dragon goes around in turn number 2, drawing the 2nd caution of the event here on lap number 57. Past the 1/3 mark of this one. Brad Layton leading most of the circuits over Jamie Ohhhh. Kelly Moore Good run for the 96, remaining up there in the top 5 solidly for Mike Johnson, and the 1 for Jerry Marquis.
Here on this holiday weekend, down to the line they come. We're back to green, the leader. Still Leighton. Aubie's going to try to go for it on the outside. Inside, here comes Marquis. He'll put the hammer down off turn number 2.
Battle for second. Give it to Jamie Aubie down here in turn number 3. He'll take that spot away, dropping Marquis back to 3rd. Christopher's 4th off turn number 4.
One car backpedaling a ton. Car number 14 for Tracy Gordon lost 2 spots down the back straightaway to Christopher and Olson. Now in jeopardy of losing another spot to Brian Wall down the back straightaway. Those 3 cars battling for 6 on back.
Good battle now for 6, but what about the battle for 3rd? Ted Christopher now with car number 13, working to the inside of Jerry Marquis. He'll take that spot away off turn 4.
Well, there's something going on in the kitchen. If we're talking about the NASCAR kitchen, they're really cooking up front. It is Ted Christopher who moves in, gives position number 3 to car number 13. Right behind him is Marquis. He can't believe his eyes. He's back in the 4th spot. Olson started 24th. Here comes the Little Trees car off the turn and back down to the line.
Look, a little look to the inside of Marquis off of turn number 4 will fall into that 5th position. Marquis maintains the spot in 4th. Brian Wall up to the 6th position in car number 77 right now, single file. Battle for 4th in 3.
Good battle now continues right here in turn number 4. Oh, the 2 come together. The 61 and the 1 come together, forcing Marquis up the banky.
Well, Olson planted a tree on the side of Jerry Marquis' car, and he will move in and take over the 4th spot. Back to the kitchen. Battle is on for the 2nd spot. Someone's cooking up in 2nd. It is Christopher. The NASCAR kitchen machine moves in, takes over the runner-up spot. 1 more position. Guess what? He's moving in down in turn 1.
He's on a mission here this evening up to that 2nd spot and closing on our race leader, Brad Layton. 3 car lengths separate 1st and 2nd down the back straightaway.
The NASCAR Kitchens car number 13 starting to close in on the Layton machine big time. As your leader now works off turn number 4.
Back to the stripe they come. Brad Layton is your leader. On lap number 68, it is Ted Christopher moving in 2nd. 3rd position still being currently held down by Jamie Aubie. Here comes Olson down to the bottom of turn 2. Little Tree's car making some magic in 3.
Olson now trying to work to the inside, still trying to get that job done there. Can't do it. He'll fall back in line.
1 driver on the roll, car number 29 for Dynamite Dave Dion. Takes a look to the inside of Jerry Marquis for the 7th position down in turns number 1 and 2. Also a battle for 3rd between Olson and Aubie down the back straightaway.
Olson out to the inside, Aubie to the outside. They're still side by side, but give the advantage to Olson off turn 4.
Olson picks up position number 3 from 24th to 3rd in 70 laps. That's not bad. Olson isn't happy with staying there. He's now setting his sights on Christopher. Little further back, the Ford of Brian Wall, the Burnham Boilers car, hunted down by Jerry Marquis, and here comes Dion with the Ford Taurus. He's moving down underneath Marquis. Marquis is hung out to dry.
Give the spot to Dave Dion down the front straightaway by a half the car length, but back down into turns number 1 and 2. They remain side by side. That's the battle for 6. Give it to Dion off turn 2.
Dion takes the spot away now as they work down here in turn number 3. Dion in the Ford Taurus with car number 29.
Back to the stripe they come. Leader still remains the same. Strung out a little bit among the top 10 cars here. Further back in the competition, Kelly Moore and Dale Shaw, side by side and wheel to wheel. They run currently just out of the top 10, but they're moving in. Back up front, Layton leads them on 4.
Kelly Moore now trying to work to the inside, trying to take that spot away. Still can't do it now. He does as they work it off turn 4.
Car number 54 also in the mix for Paul Wolf in the battle for the 11th position. Let's check in on pit road.
Just to give you an update on your leader, Brad Layton, the crew's saying he's being very quiet in the car. He's not complaining, so they know the car is good. And they're not even sure if they're going to pit because he may not have to. They're going to keep an eye on that tire wear, and we'll keep you posted.
Meanwhile, while all that's been happening there is a battle for the 5th spot. And guess who just moved into position number 5? Car number 29 for Dave Dion. Brian Wall sits in the 6th spot. Marquis challenges back. He'll go deep into turn 3. Back up to 6 comes car number 1. Tracy Gordon right behind Brian Wall. And so isn't Kelly Moore. The battle is for 10.
Halfway this time by. 75 down, 75 to go for race leader Brad Layton over Ted Christopher. Mike Olson to run in third. Jamie Yobi, Dynamite Dave Dion to round out the front five. Then it is Jerry Markey, Brian Wall, Tracy Gordon, Kelly Moore, and Dale Shaw. Right now single file, but here comes Moore to the outside of Gordon down the front straightaway. Gordon may have a problem down in turns number 1 and 2. Really slow for a moment. Moore gets the spot.
No question about it. Tracy Gordon is dropping off the pace with a tic-tac, number 14. Kelly Moore moves on by, sets his sights on Brian Wall. Currently, as we speak, there are 77 laps in the record books. Leader out in front, it is the Sheridan racing against cancer, number 55 for Brad Layton. Teddy Christopher, about 8 car lengths separates first and second. Christopher in second in the Les Gear Kitchens, number 13. Third spot, the Little Trees, number 61 of Olson. Fourth spot currently is the number 67 of Jamie Aubie. Rounding out the top 5 is Dave Dion with car number 29.
Got to remember, Kelly Moore pitted just a few laps ago, along with Dale Shaw. We have a car spun over in turn number 3. It is the Koboluk machine. Simple spin will get the car refired, but we'll bring out the third caution of the afternoon. Back to Kelly Moore and Dale Shaw. They pitted under the last yellow. That's why they pretty much blew by Tracy Gordon and a couple of the other cars out there that did not pit. Brian Wall, one of those in the 77, so that may have been the move of the race.
We'll have all the action right here between turns 3 and 4.
Well, the stage is set. We're ready to go back to racing off turn number 4. It is Ted Christopher to the inside of the front row.
Field 2 by 2, back down to the stripe. Ted Christopher leads the field into turns number 1 and 2, side by side for second. Here comes Kelly Moore to the outside of Shaw down the back straightaway.
Kelly Moore right up to the outside. He'll take that spot away from Shaw. Now, Kelly Moore has his eyes set on Teddy Christopher, and he's going to do it in a big way off turn 4.
Remember earlier I told you don't count Tommy Bowles out. He's coming to the front of this field. Bowles makes an aggressive move. Give position number 5 to car number 76. Tom Bowles is moving to the front. He looks strong here as they head down in turn 3.
Bowles now with a good handling race car up into the 5th spot now. Now he's got his eyes set on another machine right up in front of him. That is trouble. Turn 4, 3, 4 cars, 5 cars involved.
Involved in the altercation, the 71 car of Dragon. It looks like
77 for Brian Wall hit a ton. The 61 for Olson also involved. One other car at the entrance to turn number 3. We'll get a number on it in just a moment, but it looks like Brian Wall got the short end of the stick on this one.
Well, we are under caution here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Lap number 86. 3 cars set on the racetrack with severe damage done to the front and back ends of their machine. One of the cars is Brian Wall, the Ford Torres, car number 77, front end folded up like an accordion.
The field that's doubled up. They make their way off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway toward turn 3 and Gary Danko.
Well, once again, we're going to see a great battle with TC right on the point and right alongside Kelly Moore. 2 veteran drivers, and it's going to be good when it goes back to green.
So down into turn number 3, 2 by 2 for Ted Christopher to the inside. Kelly Moore to the outside. Here comes the third place car, Dale Shaw. Watch out for him. He's been consistent all night. Green flag flies from the starter stand, and Ted Christopher takes off like a rocket, heading for 1.
Well, down into turn number 1, Christopher pulls away from the competition. Door is open. Here comes Dale Shaw. Pair of truckers battling down in turn number 3. Moore gets position number 2.
Moore takes that second spot, but a tap by Dale Shaw stacks up the pack off of turn number 4. Here comes Dennis Demers. Took a look to the inside for Shaw for that third position down into turns number 1 and 2. Their single file, Tommy Bowles, right there in the top 5. Single file for now down the backstretch.
Tommy Bowles, he currently runs in the top 5 now. Scott's his eye sets on the 86 at Demers. They're nose and tail off of turn 4.
Demers has got a mirror full of the Kendall insignia on the front of the Bowles car. Down into turn number 1, it is Bowles who currently sets in the 5th spot. Look a little further back in the field. Jamie Aubie, Dave Dion, and with him is Brad Layton, Truax. Tracy Gordon trying to make it 3 wide and 3.
That's a battle for the 13th spot now. Brad Layton now trying to work to the inside. He'll take a spot away off turn number 4.
Plenty of time left. 54 laps remain in this event for the NASCAR Busch North Series here at Stafford with Ted Christopher, your race leader, over Kelly Moore, Dale Shaw, Dennis Demers, Tom Bowles, top 5, the 96. kudos to him for Mike Johnson. He's been in the top 10 all evening. The number 3 for Mike Bruno in that next position out on the speedway, along with the 36 for Boisenall. Single file for now. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. trying to pick up a couple of spots down the back straightaway.
Truex now trying to take that spot away. He'll do so in turn number 3.
Back to the line they come. He'll pick up a position, give the 10th spot to that machine as he works his way to the front of the field. This time, when they head down into turn number 3, it'll be at the 99th circuit when they come back to the line.
We got problems down in turns number 1 and 2. It looks to be the 54 that may have a flat tire on that machine as he went down the front straightaway for Paul Wolf. He had a good run going early and stayed consistent throughout the entire event, but will have to pull on the pit road. He enters turn number 3, and it looks like it is a right front flat for the 54 Paul. He's going to go actually behind the wall.
Well, on lap number 100, the leader is about to cross the line now. The Let's Care Kitchens number 13 for Christopher out in front. Kelly Moore currently sets in second. Dale Shaw is in third. Demir sets in the 4th spot. 5th is Tommy Bowles. 6th position is the number 96 of Johnson. 7th spot is the number 3 machine. That, of course, is Mike Bruno. 8th position, Boisenall. 9th is Jamie Aubie. Then it's Dion battling in contention for position number 9. And right there with him is Brad Layton in the 10th spot.
2 rows, 2 abreast down into turns number 1 and 2. Aubie gets the position, takes Dave Dion right along with him, with Boisenall now caught up on the high side down the back straightaway.
Dave Dion, the car number 29, now currently sits in the 10th spot, wants the 9th spot from Aubie as they work it off turn 4.
No question about it. When they come back to the line, there's a lot of pressure being applied there. Brad Layton now tucks it down low underneath Boisenall. Kicks up some dirt. Boisenall goes around. Layton pulls on by. The rest of the field will make it through. Brad Boisenall plays hardball with one of the veterans. It does not pay off for him. He's got a long way to go. 103 laps. Leader about to come up on Boisenall, the car that spun. Let's check back in on pit road.
Well, real quickly, the 54 car is behind the wall. Did not have a flat tire. Actually, it broke the rear panhard bar and shot the car up into the wall. But the young driver of the 54 car able to gather it up, control the car to get down off the racetrack, get the hug from his dad and his crew chief. But I'll tell you what, it was a scary ride when the panhard bar broke and went up to the wall.
So a tough break for Paul Wolf behind the wall early on here with 45 laps remaining.
Back to the stride they come. It is still car number 13 in command. About 3 car lengths separate first and second. Kelly Moore, the car that turned in fast time here tonight, an impressive time of 19.853, a Busch Grand National record here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Currently, it is your second place car. Leader comes up on the car that spun 4 laps ago, the Brad Boisenall machine. Here comes Ted Christopher. Ironically, Christopher once drove that 36 car very successfully to a victory at New Hampshire International Speedway. That was way back in 1997.
Boisenall now does go a lap down to Ted Christopher. Kelly Moore is on fire off of turn number 4. He has reeled in Ted Christopher. Now about 5 car lengths separate first and second. Boisenall in between them now down in turns number 1 and 2. Make pop.
Here, back in the field. Here comes Tracy Gordon. Jerry Marquis. Those 3 cars run in a pack. They are currently just out of the top 10 as we speak. 109 laps and counting down here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
That is a good battle between Tracy Gordon, Jerry Marquis, Martin Truex Jr., and also the 25 for John Swanson in third. Has his presence up in that battle. That is for about the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th down in the turns number 1 and 2. As Swanson takes a look to the inside of Truex, but the lap car is there. Will they go 3 wide down the back straightaway?
And yes, they do. And they splice the lap car. In the meantime, here comes Truex now looking for racing room. He'll find the room he needs. He'll take the spot away off turn 4.
Yes, he does. He is the guy to keep your eyes on here in the battle just out of the top 10. Back to the front of the field. Leader crossing the stripe now. Kelly Moore is closing up that gap. The margin between first and second has now been narrowed to about 4 car lengths down in turn 3.
And right now, Teddy Christopher, your leader, works in turn number 3, but right in front of him, he's going to have to negotiate a slower car as they work it off turn 4.
Lap traffic just up ahead. Will it work to the advantage? They come up on the Barney McRae number 5 car. Now, the gap between first and second, it is less than 2 car lengths as they head down the back straightaway. Kelly Moore is moving in. He's making reservations to cook in the NASCAR kitchen off turn number 4.
That was about the gap they had before the Brad Boisenall car broke up that battle for a couple laps. 71 car off the pace down the back straightaway for Bobby Dragon, so looks like his evening will end prematurely here on lap number 113. Remains out on the speedway off of turn number 4, but the entire field lined by on the outside.
114 circuits are in the record books here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The lead car is the number 13 car of Teddy Christopher. He goes around the Bobby Dragon machine, who now goes a lap down, and the number 12 car. Once Kelly Moore had closed up the bid for the lead to less than a car length and a half. That is all gone, and Christopher is literally pulling away from Kelly Moore now. He is a good, well, almost a full straightaways distance ahead. Kelly Moore has a problem down in turn 3.
Definitely a problem on Kelly Moore's car, number 47. He's really coming to a halt, as now he's stacking up the rest of the field off turn 4.
Tough break for Kelly Moore as Dragon flies by on the outside. Here comes Barney McRae, also the 12 for John Preston, as they work to the outside of Kelly Moore down off of turn number 2.
This will move the number 60 car of Dale Shaw into the runner-up spot, the GOD transportation car. 4th position is the Demers number 86 machine, and then it is the Bowles car number 76, that is moved in to contend there. Aubie, Dion, and Brad Layton are among the top 10 and trying to make some move through heavy traffic off turn 2.
Kelly Moore slow down the back straightaway. Demers has gone by. Bowles has gone by. Johnson has gone by, along with most of the rest of the top 10. Dave Dion has gone by. Also, the Brad Layton machine as the car progressively gets slower for the 47.
What a heartbreaker for the RC Moore transportation team. This guy was just running so strong. Let's go down to pit road.
Well, real quickly, we've got Ray, Ted Christopher's crew chief. What is Teddy saying? He's on the radio right now with him. He's also taking time, but obviously, Christopher pleased with the events. We'll come back here when there's a moment because they're conferring right now on the racetrack.
Well, car number 13 is out in front as they come back to the stripe. 120 circuits now go into the record books. Action shifts a little further back into the top 10. Here comes Dion down underneath Aubie. Brad Layton is there. That is the battle for the 7th, 8th, and 9th position here.
Down into turns number 1 and 2. Dion to the inside, Aubie to the outside. Here comes Brad Layton in the 55. 3 cars under a blanket, 4th position down the back straightaway.
Dion to the inside, and meanwhile, here comes Layton right up to the outside of the banking here in turn number 3. They're side by side as they work it off turn 4.
John Preston down the back straightaway has come out next to the wall. There is sparks from beneath the race car. He looks to get it down on pit road. We are still under green. That was
one car goes around over in turn number 2. It's the 67 for Jamie Aubie. He does a 360. Well, he does get the car refired, but the caution flag does fly for the 5th time here on lap 122. Let's go back downstairs.
Real quickly, Kelly Moore is in. They're actually putting gasoline in the car. They're not sure exactly what's wrong. They've been conferring with their driver, but they put a splash of gas in the 47 to send him back out.
Well, the RC Moore transportation machine got a little bit of a drink of gas there, and it comes back out. Tony Sutton's going to be checking in to find out exactly what the story is there. That perhaps was the break that Kelly Moore was looking for, as he tried to stay out as long as he possibly could with the number 47 machine. Jamie Aubie, who was a car among the top 10, will bring out the caution. That will be the 5th caution of the event. So here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, we are under yellow. Preston's car, who cut a right front tire, comes back down on pit road. Here's currently how they stand here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Kitchens, number 13 for Ted Christopher, is currently your leader. Second is the GOD transportation machine for Dale Shaw. Then it's Demers, the defending race winner, setting in the 3rd spot. Tommy Bowles is in the position number 4 with car number 76. In the 5th position, it will be the Mike Johnson machine. 6th position, Dave Dion, the 29. 7th spot, Brad Layton, the number 55. 8th position, unofficially, we believe, it is the number 14 of Tracy Gordon. Unofficially in the 9th spot, Jerry Marquis, and unofficially rounding out the top 10 is Mike Bruno with car number 3.
Take a look at the Diamond Vision for replay on the spin over in turn number 2. see Ohhhh go around over at the exit of turn number 2, drawing the 5th caution of the evening. Let's go back downstairs to pit road.
It's Kim Hart conferring more with the crew of Kelly Moore in the number 47. They had a fuel pickup brake, so they had to put more fuel, raise the level, so he can get that power. So we'll keep an eye on that for the rest of the laps in this event.
What a heartbreaking situation for Kelly Moore. Right now, down the front straightaway area, the little trees machine, car number 61. Remember, that car was involved in an altercation way back on lap number 93. And the car was set to stop down the front straightaway area here. The little trees automobile showing the worst of the wear. We'll be back right after this.
Today's NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series update is brought to you by the August 25th ASB American Classic here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Now, here's today's Modified Series update.
Last Saturday night, SK Modified champion Jerry Marquis scored his second NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series win of 2000 by winning the Carquest 150 at the Seekonk Speedway. Marquis was first, while Mike Iwanitzko, Rick Fuller, Tim Conley, and Tony Hirschman rounded out the top 5. Tim Conley remains atop the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series championship standings. Second is Rick Fuller, with Jerry Marquis, Reggie Ruggiero, and Eddie Flemke 5th. Next stop for the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series, next Friday afternoon, July 7th, at the New Hampshire International Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire.
Today's NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series update was brought to you by the August 25th ASB American Classic. The ASB American Classic features the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series in a 150-lap duel under the lights.
And don't forget to mark August 25th on your calendar. Tickets on sale this evening at the ticket office for the ASB American Classic for the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series, their 3rd stop of the year here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Went to green, he could be a factor when it's all said and done.
Speaking of factors, factor in the green, 127 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Leader Ted Christopher up to speed, down into turn 2. Look at Christopher pull away. 1, 2, 3 car lengths down in 3.
Christopher now pulls away by about 3 car lengths over car number 60 of Dale Shaw, but the race is on for second as they work off turn 4.
Tracy Gordon off the pace down the back straightaway. The field streams by on the outside. Tough break for car number 14. It doesn't look like he's going to get that 4th win here this evening. Meanwhile, Ted Christopher leads the field off of turn number 2. Shaw remains in 2nd.
Demers is 3rd, Tommy Bowles is 4th, is now your leader of Christopher with car 13, works it off the corner.
Christopher still brings him back to the line. Demers thinks twice of it. Look at the 96 car, of Mike Johnson. Johnson sets in the 5th spot. Dave Dion is in the 6th position. Brad Layton's in the 7th spot. Look a little further back. Marquis moves around Bruno. He'll pick up a position here.
That's a good battle now. 4th position is Jerry Meyer. Oh, trouble! Up in turn number 3. Everybody tries to take evasive action as one car goes around. In turn number 3, and another car piles in.
That's car number 25 to go around for John Swanson III. The 09 had nowhere to go for Brian Chu. A 2-car incident at least. It looks like some damage to some of the other machines. The 71 for Dragon. Looks like might have been also involved up there in turn number 3. Mad scramble from about mid-pack on back. A lot of these cars had nowhere to go with a 25 went sideways.
Well, we are under yellow for the 6th time in this 150-lap event on lap number 131. Caution. Leader is the Les Care Kitchens number 13 for Ted Christopher. GOD Transportation number 60 for Dale Shaw is in 2nd. Whaling Engineering number 86 machine sets in 3rd spot. Rounding out the top 4 is Tommy Bowles. And in the 5th position, it is the number 96 of Mike Johnson. The lights are now off, Gary, as the field heads towards you.
That's right, and they are single files. They approach me down here in turn number 3, single file. So this one's going to get real good when it's all said and done.
Pace car pulls in. Ted Christopher, Shaw, Demers, Bowles, the 96 hanging right in there. The top 5 for Mike Johnson. Green flag in the starter stand.
Green flag is out. The front 4 cars run single file down into turn number 1. Christopher is still in command. Here comes Bowles. He'll try to put the pressure on off turn 2.
Bulls now looking for racing room around the Demers car. Still can't do it, but he'll follow him in turn number 4.
Off of turn 4, back down to the stripe. Ted Christopher pulls away by 3 car lengths over Dale Shaw. Dennis Demers up to 3rd over Tommy Bowles in 4th. Mike Johnson to round out the front 5. And the 14 continues to have problems for Tracy Gordon as he slips deep in the field.
Brad Layton now has got his hands full. The car seems to be kind of becoming a little bit evil as he works it from side to side. Back to the front of the field. Leader still remains Christopher. Battle is still for 2nd. Dale Shaw. Demers still setting in the 3rd spot here. Bowles reels him in. Trouble out. The 96 car goes way up the hill for Mike Johnson. He loses about 3 positions here.
Into turn number 3, Johnson maintains that 5th spot. Off of turn number 4, Dave Dion right there on his back bumper in 6th. Brad Layton, Jamie Iobi in the 8th position. Single file down into turns number 1 and 2. Off of turn 2, the field tightens up from 2nd on back.
That battle for 2nd now is heating up here in turn number 3 as Demers now trying to look for racing room. Shaw skates up the banking. That's going to give the advantage to car number 86 off of turn 4.
Well, if anybody's been saving anything, it's got to show now. There is less than 9 circuits to the checker. Demers move in. Contact is made. Demers gets bounced out of the spot. Here comes Bowles back to the 3rd spot, and it is Dale Shaw back in 2nd. Dion moves into the top 4 off turn 4.
Now Demers stuck to the outside. He's going to be shuffled out of the top 5. The 96 for Johnson trying to take a look to the inside for that 5th position. Right now it is Christopher with a huge lead. Shaw to run in 2nd. Bowles in 3rd. Dion in 4th. And the number 96 for Mike Johnson maintains that 5th position. Brad Layton up into the 6th spot now, off of turn number 4 with Demers now back to 7.
Demers cannot believe his eyes. They were dirty dancing all around him. Contact was made. He went from the 2nd spot all the way back out of the top 5 into the 7th position. Back up front, Christopher still leads 144. Back at the line, it is Shaw still in 2nd. Bowles in 3rd. Dion in the 4th spot, followed by the number 96 machine of Johnson to round out the top 5 here.
Just 5.5 laps to go for Ted Christopher. And car number 13, the dominant force of the Carquest 150 thus far in this event with 5 laps remaining. Shaw to run 2nd, Bowles in 3rd, Dion in 4th, Johnson in 5th. Right now, single file, no heated battles right now taking place in the top 5. Demers now runs outside of the top 5 in 6th. Jamie Iobi, Jerry Marquis, car number 3 for Bruno, and the 32 for Quarterly. That's the way they run on the Speedway.
Well, there's less than 4 circuits till it's all going to be history. Ted Christopher in command. Brad Layton is now applying the pressure. That is currently for the 5th position with the number 96 car. Great young run here for Mike Johnson.
Off of turn number 4, back down the stripe. 3 laps to go for Ted Christopher, Mike Johnson, and Brad Layton. That's the best battle on the Speedway for the 5th and 6th positions. Layton all over the rear bumper now off of turn number 2 of Mike Johnson.
Layton now trying to look to the inside. Still can't get the job done there. Now he'll try to swing up to the outside, but now he'll fall back in line as they work it off turn 4.
Back to the stripe they come. Christopher is still your leader. No challenges at the front of the field here, but Brad Layton is still working over that number 96 machine. Good challenge there. Here comes Layton to the inside.
Best battle on the Speedway. That is for the 5th spot now. Is car number 55 of Brad Layton trying to work to the inside. He'll once again fall back in line.
White flag this time by for Teddy Christopher. Leads the field down into turn number 1 for the final time. Shaw maintains that 2nd spot. No challenge there. Good battle for 3rd. Dion takes a look to the inside of Bowles.
Yeah, now trying to look to the inside. Still can't get the job done there as they work in turn 3 for the final time.
Off the 4th turn, the black and whites are waving. The Less Care Kitchens machine cooks up 1 in the winner's circle here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Finishing in the runner-up spot, the GOD Transportation, number 60 for Dale Shaw to round out the top 3. What a great run for Tommy Bowles in the Kendall, number 76. Unofficially in the 4th spot, the number 29 for Dave Dion. And for round out the top 5, it'll be the number 96. Hats off to the driver from Salisbury, Mass. For Mike Johnson, he'll finish among the top 5 here. Unofficially to follow, it'll be the number 55 machine for Brad Layton. followed by the 86 of Demers.
The 67 had a good run as well to finish in that 8th position for Jamie Obie. Let's check in on up in turn 3, Gary Danko. Another great race here this evening for the Carquest 150.
No question about it, Kyle. Two big stories in this event, too.